Howdy all, welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time we play a little 7 Days to Die. Well, apparently, I got runners coming from the other direction that I don't have closed off. Man, I forgot. I was thinking that we were done with Horde Night, but I have logged back in to Horde Night. Oh yeah, I should probably get rid of that guy. Ooh. I am such a terrible aim. There we go. It only took me 10 shots. That's right, guys. Just run into my... I wonder if this would work better if I went downstairs and stood on the other side of the blades there and let him try and run at me then. Watch him try to get me over here. Ooh. Don't get too close to the blades. Oops. Man, I came out here so that you guys would get... Oops. Chopped up, not crawling along to come get me. Let's get this works. Ooh. Oh man, I am wounded. That's right, if you want to come get me. If you want to come get me, you have to come through here. I just worry we're gonna get a horde coming from that direction too. Wasn't sure if that guy was dead or not. Man, this works so good. I think I should just put 4 of them down. No, let's go with 8 of them down, and I can just stand in the middle of them. Have the switch in there. Turn it on and just stand there while they all try to get to me. Although that won't work when I get, Ooh, that guy came right across my... How did that guy get up there? How did you get up there? I don't like that. I don't like him spawning in my house. So it's the end of another work week for me. I am tired. We had some extra projects to do this week. And so I wound up staying, well, not staying, I guess I don't really go anywhere, but I ended up working pretty late every night this week. Oh, and the other night, what day was that? Was that yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Yesterday I wound up staying really late because I slept in for some reason. I don't know what the deal was there. Because there isn't a time that I have to start work. There's just, you know, X amount of work I want to try and get done every day, so that I can try and get it done before the weekend. And man, I got up really early Tuesday, and but I got in like 7 hours of sleep, I think, which is about my normal. And so I'm like, you know, this worked out pretty good, because even though I worked late, I still got done about only slightly longer than I normally work. And man, I really want to go out and collect some more metal. But I don't want to go out and collect metal on Horde night. I might try, though. I might see if we can get out there and collect some. I just need to get some forged metal here to repair my spiked club. Ooh, we should try out these. I don't use these very often. Trying to kill me, Torch? I don't know if it really helps any. I don't, go anywhere without my mining helmet, so I guess this does work without interfering with your helmet. So I could wear a helmet. Ooh, I almost steered right into those blades, and I probably should have shut them down. That's all right. And this is not the direction I want to go. Yeah, we I then decided to go to bed early on Tuesday night. And so I was probably in bed about 3 hours earlier than I normally go to bed, and I bet I slept almost 11 hours. I'm like, that's just crazy. I never do that. Never. What the heck? And it didn't make me feel any better, that's for sure. I woke up with a horrible, horrible sinus headache, and it was bad. Yeah, and then last night I slept alright. Although I've been reading, okay, I've been watching anime and reading books. One of the sites I like to watch anime on has updated their, I feel like I passed my little, oh no, I'm just not there yet. Has updated their player, so it now works on my tablet. So I've been watching anime while laying in bed instead of reading. The guy who DMs our Wednesday night game and plays in the Monday game and DMs the play-by-post game, he suggested to me that I might like Darling in the Franxx. Why are you orange? Why are you orange? And so I've been watching through that. It was okay. It wasn't. Where's my spot where I knocked down those towers? I really like mecha anime. They're my favorite. And so this is a mecha anime sort of. I really liked parts of it, but it was very they call it fan service. It was very fan servicey. Like all the characters were always half naked, it seemed like. No, I don't want to knock down another tower. I want to finish cleaning up the tower that I can't find it because I don't know what it looks like in green. I mean, I guess I could open up the map here. If I were a big construction site that got knocked down, maybe that one? Let's waypoint that so I can find it easier. And but I kind of like parts of it. I didn't like their mechas were not my favorite, and there was not enough mecha action. It was mostly about the relationships between the people, and which is fine. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy that portion of it. I just wish there'd been a little more focus on the mecha, because it was very much focused on the relationships of the people, and not. Okay, so that was that pile of rebels. So it's definitely not that one, unfortunately. I'm kind of surprised I didn't get attacked by zombies hanging out here either. Alright, so if you don't look like that, what do you look like then? I'm gonna go. Whoops! I'm gonna go see if I can find that the other one that we saw earlier, so I can see what that looks like on the map. Yeah, it was the mecha were called Franks, Franxx, and they required a male and female pilot to operate. Basically they were Jaegers, but they had this overarching storyline about male-female relationships mixed in, and male-female teenage relationships mixed in. And this looks... Nope, that's the junkyard. And so they it turned out, after making it all the way through the series, that there was a previous species of humanoids on Earth that were dinosaur-based, or reptiles, or something along those lines. You know what, I can't find anything with this green. I just can't do it. Everything looks so weird, I can't tell what I'm looking at. Although it's much easier to see with the green. Maybe if I turn off my light, get that orange out of my face. And so the and then there was this other alien species who were like, oh yeah, who were like made of energy, and so they were like, everyone has to be made of energy, and if you're not made of energy, then we will make you be made of energy. And so when they got to Earth, they wound up having to fight the dinosaur people, the Klaxosaurs, for whatever reason. Soar because they were dinosaur-based, Klaxon because they screamed, I guess. And I don't think we ever found out their actual name. And so they repelled the energy-based creatures, and then it had been 60 million years, and the energy creatures had come back and had actually worked with the humans to start them on their way to becoming energy-based creatures. And so the Klaxosaurs attacked to try and stop it because they knew what was going on and the humans were fooled. Because the Klax or the other aliens, I forget what they were called, or the aliens were disguising themselves as people and pretending to be this scientific corporation that was leading Earth to a new future. And that future involved draining all the life from the planet so that you couldn't live on the planet anymore. And so they basically made all the humans immortal, and the offset was they couldn't have children anymore. And so when the Klaxosaurs attacked, they developed the Franks, but they couldn't pilot them because they didn't have that male-female sexual connection, I guess. And so they started making clones and using the clones to pilot. But the machines work off of the same energy that's killing Earth. And so the more power they use, the quicker they age and die. And so clones don't last long as pilots. Well, people wouldn't last long. They were people. I mean, clones, they were grown in a lab people. And so, I mean, none of them looked alike. So they also got an actual clone of the leader of the Klaxosaurs, and were using her as a pilot. And so she had met one of their pilots when they were very young children, and they had made a vow to always stay together. And then they tried to erase their memories. Don't land on me. I don't want to die. And so they, that's what they did. They were using these teenagers as pilots, and then because they needed I mean, they didn't want them to know enough to actually have relationships, but they needed that biological urge connection thing, I guess, so that they could pilot together. And so Turns out, though, the main character had run away with the clone, and she had gotten injured, and so all he could think to do, because of the way they're trained, was to lick her wound, and she had scuffed up her knee really bad. And so he had ingested her non-human blood, and it had infected him on a genetic level. And so, alright, now from here, I want to take this metal, and I want to head over to Bob's here. What's that? Oh, it's a bike. So I want to go north from here. And so he couldn't pilot with a human anymore. And so when she shows up when they're, you know, teenagers, she kills every human that they put in the machine with her. Eventually, like quickly, like three times, and you're dead. And so they, he winds up in there with her, and it turns out that they're compatible, and he doesn't die. And she calls him her darling, which is where the name comes from. And so then they, you know, wind up fighting against the Klaxosaurs because they don't know any better until way later in the show. And it was all right. It wasn't great. I enjoyed parts of it, but you know, it's not really something I would necessarily recommend to people. It was fun, I guess, but it wasn't. I like my mechas a little more story-driven and less relationship-driven, I guess. And although I prefer most of my stuff that way, a little more story-driven, a little less relationship-driven. And then I've been watching Valvrave, which is another mecha. After watching that one, I was like, man, now that they've got that player and I can watch it in my bed, because it's subtitled, right? It's Japanese subtitled. And I wonder what good mechas have come out recently, and so I typed in best mecha anime, you know, the 2010s or whatever came up, I don't know. And so they suggested Valvrave. Now I noticed that a lot of the ones that I really like were not on the list. But oh, you know what? I can't even go here until 6 o'clock in the morning, or 6:05 in the morning. Dang it, I forgot. Well, then I guess we can go home. And I can work on my garden a little bit. Should be a couple more weeks, I think, it sounds like, before the Alpha 17 drops. So that's exciting. There's a lot of new changes I'm very excited for. I am looking forward to the new vehicles a lot. I'm not as looking forward to the limit in skill points that they're adding. I kind of like having unlimited skill points as long as you just keep going up levels. So maybe that only affect multiplayer, you know, and single player will still just have unlimited levels maybe. I don't know. I guess I could just give myself extra skill points with console commands if I had to, but oop. I thought the game froze, but no, I'm just stuck on a branch. Okay, now carefully. Don't run into the blades. Alright, it should be getting bright now for daytime, right? I can come down here and shut off my blades. I'd like to check how much fuel that ended up using. So that was one full night. I need one more engine, I think, to get that last blade going. Obviously, I could use a whole nother generator and set of blades to go around the other side of the base there. And you used... Yeah, it didn't even use a third of the fuel. Almost a third, maybe. Crazy. So yeah, I could run that for 3 nights. I guess I want to get some more... Ooh, look at the glitch. I want to get some more down this side here, it looks like. And then, yeah, and then we'll see. Yeah, I guess let's finish talking about Valve real quick, and then we'll call it a day. So, with Valve was kind of funny because it's not funny, but what's funny to me is my favorite anime series is Gundam. And so I have seen some of the Gundam series multiple times. And so the Gundams are done by Sunrise, if I'm not incorrect. And Valve is done by Sunrise. I'm like, oh, well, this will be nice. I like my mecha, and I like Sunrise and the way they do my mecha. And so we get going, and Valve is a lot like Gundam. It's kind of a mix between Gundam Wing and Mobile Suit Gundam, honestly. Mobile Suit Gundam is the first series, and it follows this college student named Amuro Ray, and he's a programmer. And so, unbeknownst to him, the college that he goes to is secretly a weapons development college, and they are building the first Gundam. And so one day the enemy attacks, and I forget what the name of the enemy is. Char. I just remember Char is the bad guy. And so they attack, whatever the organizations are called, I can't remember. And so, it's been a while. And so, Amuro, during the attack on the space station that he lives on, winds up with the Gundam. And it's not ready to launch because they haven't finished completing the operating system. And so Amuro, being the genius programmer that he is, programs the rest of the operating system real quick. Not completed, but enough to use the Gundam, and then winds up fighting the bad guys on the station. So, but the rest of the series is a lot about his PTSD and him being forced to fight and stuff like that. And then Gundam Wing is a different Gundam series, and in that one, Earth has got a few different factions at war with each other, and the space colonies, which are space stations, are trying to stay out of it because they are vulnerable to attacks. And so to try and stabilize everything, I guess, scientists on 5 different space station colonies decide to make these special mobile suits called Gundams and send them to Earth to stop the fighting that's going on. And so that's the two Gundams that this reminds me of. So I start Valvrave, and they're on space stations, and they're at a college, and bad guys attack the college because it's a secret weapons development place where they're developing Valvraves, which are basically Gundams. And there's a bunch of different Valvraves. I don't know how many, but there's at least 4 or 5, it looks like. And so I thought that was pretty funny. I think these come in like 2s. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay. So they're on a space station, and then the kid goes to college, and he's supposed to be one of their best students, and you know what? He gets forced into fighting using... Oh, dang it. I hate when they do that. When the enemies attack his space station college that he goes to. And there's 2 different factions fighting, and he's not really a member of either faction, but gets caught up between the 2. And I'm like, wow, this is Gundam. This is just... I don't know that I think it's quite as good as Gundam. But it's very Gundam-esque. Dang it. Oops. I really should go and finish... I had started watching a Gundam series here not too long ago called Iron-Blooded Orphans, which was really good. And I should probably get in and finish that off now that I can watch it easily. Well, I think this is probably a good spot to call it. So click like you like, subscribe, and catch the next one. I will talk to you later.